Alright guys, today I'm installing the oil filter relocation kit from Cobalt. I also have the oil cooler kit from Permacool. It's all from Miata. I highly don't recommend you buy the Permacool stuff or the Cool Tech, I think it's called, on their website. It's just straight garbage, and I had to actually retap half the threads, and I can't even use it because it doesn't even fit on the Miata itself. Literally, it actually doesn't even fit. But other than that, I'm going to be installing a mix of both. I'll show you a little bit of it. Alright guys, so as you can see, I already have the oil cooler installed, and I have one of the lines running down. Nothing's actually connected, and I just have it in place. Well, actually no, I tightened it already. And I have a what's this called? I have a oil temperature thermostat sensor. I drilled and tapped onto it. It's pretty straightforward. It's the best spot in there. No problems. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get ready for this adapter here, and what this does is this will relocate this filter, and then in between one of these connections I'm going to cut it off and basically slice my oil cooler into that. I'll show you a diagram that I got from from Cobalt, and that's pretty much what I'm going off of. So it's going from the engine to the filter, and then it's getting cooled, and then back to the engine. I figured that the warmer oil would filter better, so it would flow a lot cleaner and smoother than if I went and cooled it then sent it. Probably not by a lot, but you know, any little bit helps. I don't want to have any more strain on my oil pump or anything, even if that's even an issue. Just want to avoid all problems before they get started. So yeah, I had to take this off because I'm mounting this thermostat. Oh yeah, and I have to mount this thermostat in between it all too. And that's going right about like that. I have a mount that I made, and yeah, so I had to drill and tap, or not drill and tap, but as you can see, I used a rib nut gun and some rib nuts, and that's how I installed it there. So I just drilled some holes and just rib nutted it in. All I had to do was just take out my whatever you want to call it, I guess charge pipe, I don't know. It's for just going into the throttle bottom here, just so I can get the drill into place. And yeah, so I still haven't tightened everything down. I just made sure everything was somewhat in place. And yeah, so now that's what I gotta do. Alright guys, so all I did was I just took out the old oil filter, and now I'm just going to install this guy here. But first you need to install the O-ring that comes with it. Make sure it's on there good. You don't want it to mess up when you go to screw it into place. So not the prettiest fit, I'll tell you that. It's concerning a bit. Alright, so now I'm just gonna wipe the spot where the oil filter was before real quickly. I'm using my finger as I twist it around to hold the O-ring in place. If you just go slowly, I'm sure it'll be okay. Alright guys, so as you can see, the bracket or the adapter is in there. Hold on. There's the light. So I'm not 100% sure if that O-ring went on perfectly. It did not want to stay in place. You probably want to like super glue it in a couple places before you put it on. But yeah, that did not want to go nicely at all. So yeah, so now that that's on, I have this cable, or this hose here. It's a 1/2 inch. Now what I used is I cut off the hose that came with the kit from Cobalt. and I'm not sure how long it is, but I just measured it up so that it goes from the in to my out on my oil temperature thermostat, the out of the return side of the cold side of the oil cooler, if that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna go and install this real quick. Now make sure it says on there, but make sure you take these caps off, and it says on there in and out, but make sure you're going to the right one before you do this. Alright, so now that that's in, I'm gonna go and tighten it now with the wrench. Alright guys, so I went ahead and put the 2 wire lines on. The only thing left is to get this guy on right here. I actually had to take this guy off because it was giving me a hard time for the guy down there. So you're definitely going to want to tighten this one before this one here, because that's not going to work. So that's complete now. Well, not quite, there's one more step. Alright guys, so this is the thermostat here, and as you can see, there has arrows flowing out and then in. So the ones going out are the ones going to, well, this side is going to the oil cooler, and then this side is the cold side from the oil cooler going back straight into the engine. And then from here, the engine, and then up into the oil filter, and then back into here. And that's how it's going to circulate. And then that's only when it's warmed up, because this will make sure. And if you live in a cold environment, you need one of these, because if you don't, you'll end up messing around with your engine, because you don't want to run too cold of oil through your engine, or you just won't be running optimal. So you need one of these if you're in cold temperatures. If you're in Florida or California or somewhere where it's always hot, don't bother with one of these. I need one because I'm in Canada. So yeah, I made this bracket here. I'm gonna install it onto those rib nuts that I showed you that I installed earlier, and I'm gonna do that right now. Alright, now that those guys are lined up correctly, those hoses, fix the zoom for you guys. There we go. I'm gonna mount them to the bracket right now, real quick. So I got it all hooked up here, and pretty much the only thing left to do is just prime it a bit and then check and fill oil. Well, put all this back together, then do that. So give me a second here. Alright guys, so I primed the oil. Now I'm going to give it a start up. Alright guys, so here it is. It looks pretty good, sounds good. The only thing I'm leaking is at my little, whatever you want to call it, my sensor. The clearance was a little tight, so I didn't go too hard on tightening it down. But it seems that I'm gonna have to go in there and just grind it down with a little bit of the grinder just to make that sensor fit a little better. But other than that, the car's driving great. They're doing great. There's no oil leaking other than that spot. Everything's checking out well. Too hard to fix, but that's the only issue. And the gauge seems to be working. It seems a little slow compared to my coolant gauge, but both see how that works out. I'm not too sure how it's gonna be, but I think it's just because of that clearance issue. But we got a good oil pressure here as well. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked the video, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I read and respond to most of my comments. I try to get to all of them. I can't get all of them all the time, but I will try for you. And other than that, man, I'm just gonna hope that gauge works. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks. Subscribe for more.